day, Twig's Bottling of Shawano, Wisconsin caps off over 11,000 bottles of soda, including cream flavor, root beer, and orange. But their most popular product by a long shot is Sundrop, the golden cola. Although relatively unknown to most people in the USA, Sundrop has developed an intense following in small pockets across the Midwest and southern parts of the country. With its unique citrus orange taste, the drink has been imitated but never duplicated. Just what is Sundrop? When was it first bottled? Who created it? How does Twigs manage to bottle so much of it every year? Well, we better start at the beginning.
1928, John Frederick Lassier had an extract company, and he had an orange drink and lemonade and different flavors. He had his son later on work for him, and his son was Charles Lassier.
Not much is known about Charles Lassier. He's something of a mystery, and only a few people alive today actually knew him. Of the many myths that surround him, one seems to be true. He was the circus strongman before he got into the bottling business. But was Lassier the one who actually invented the chemical formula for Sundrop?
No, I don't think he was a chemist. I think strongman probably, yeah, and a salesman, and in the bottling business, but that's a different ball of wax. I think if he had a drink that he thought was good, or if somebody gave it to him, he would have his chemist make it up.
In 1948, he was riding around with his father on a Sunday afternoon, and he was given a recipe from his dad and said, "Here, you work on this recipe, and we're going to call it Sundrop." And he gave it to him, and he worked on it, and came up with the Sundrop that you see today in the green bottle, called the citrus cola. It was the first citrus drink on the market. Up until that time, all sodas were either like a white soda or orange or root beer or cola in different colors, but there was never a citrus gold drink.
After Lassier had the recipe just right, he started spreading out around the nation, setting up local bottling companies with the new flavor of soda. The Golden Girl Cola, he called it, refreshing as a cup of coffee, and it really caught on too. Sundrop has held fast in certain areas of the United States despite competition from the bigger brands. In 1970, the brand was sold to Crush International, and its ownership has moved from company to company since then. But that doesn't stop it from having a locally bottled, homegrown feel, especially in small towns like Shawano.
I said to God, just give me that thing you said. I will somebody tell you what did
World Cup champion talks about Sundrop citrus soda. You know, drinking Sundrop is a lot like racing stock cars. The first rule is you gotta stay clean.
I love Sundrop.
Sundrop? Man, I love the stuff. If you don't love Sundrop, you're basically un-American. It definitely quenches my thirst.
It quenches your thirst.
Story was that he used to go out and somebody would come to the plant, buy a case of a Sundrop, and then he would go and buy a loaf of bread for his family, and that's how we got started.
Floyd Hartley was laying in a Tokyo hospital bed, recovering from injuries sustained during the Korean War. He knew when he got home he wanted to start a bottling business.
Look in the back end of these magazines, the bottlers magazines, and these want ads, and whenever they had some cheap machinery, and it was close by, I'd go and look it up and get see what I could buy the machinery for, because they were doing the bigger stuff for that, and so I got for it cheap, real cheap. I got everything.
It wasn't easy at first, but Floyd had friends and local teenagers to help him out. He started at Wright's Broiler Company, but soon found that to be an undesirable location.
Right in the same building, and I made the whole building smell up, and so before I even started, I hauled my machinery out of there, and I never started in there.
Now, he wasn't sure what name to call it, but all his softball buddies told him, hey, I'll help you, that they were going to help him get this going, and they did. And they called him Twig. Twig was his nickname.
Figured if somebody didn't like me, they probably still would like the pop instead of having Hartwick on it, because especially in this area, there was Westman had Lonnie Collins, Westman's Beverly, and different ones. Warblows had Warblows beverage, and I thought, gee, if somebody don't like it, they won't buy a pop. But this way, if they like the pop, they buy it anyway.
Because shortly after we had started, Charles and Sear came to him and asked him if he would do Sundrop, and that's how Sundrop got going in the area. And it's probably been 90% of our business, and it's still right up there, almost the same today.
You're into something good. Twigs. Carousel of flavors. Twigs. Carousel of flavors. Twigs. You're into something good. Twigs.
Sold out to be in 1986. I've been running the business, family business ever since then. 1987, I met my wife Diane, got married to her in '87, and we started our family. We have 3 boys, Luke, Jake, and Ben, and hopefully one of those boys will be interested in the business.
Well, I guess there's only one question left. How do they make it?
Our day starts out by, we go into our, what we call the syrup room, and we have vats in our syrup room, and we mix batches of Sundrop. Now, once that's mixed up, in the meantime, we clean bottles, and we do this first. And we put bottles that people have taken the tops off, and anytime the cap is off of a bottle, it's considered a used bottle, and it has to run through our washer. And the bottom half of that washer is a solution that the bottle's soaked in. It gets cleans all the impurities out of the bottle. Comes back out, guys take a look at the bottle, make sure there's no flaws in the bottle, cracks, chips. The batch, the syrup that we mixed up, that is put into each bottle. Then after that stage, it's filled up with carbonated water. Now the carbonated water is water that has a fizz on it. The carbon dioxide is mixed in to the water. When that carbon dioxide is mixed in there, it gives it that fizz. And once it has that in it, it's got to be capped immediately. The cap is put on it. And we use what's called a crimp crown. That means that you have to take an opener and actually open the bottle. It's not a twist off or plastic top, it's a metal top that is pressed on top of that bottle. And this tipper mixes each bottle up about 6 times. Once it comes out of that tumbler, then a guy holds it up to a light, takes a look and makes sure there's nothing wrong through the process, no cracks in the bottle, anything like that, puts it into a case. Cases are reusable, and we put it back on a pallet and just store it in our warehouse, ready to go out to the different locations on our routes, retail business that we have to come in and buy it.
Sundrop has been a local favorite in Shawano for years, and every day more people discover its unique flavor and refreshing quality. With companies like Twigs keeping up the tradition of glass-bottled soft drinks, Sundrop is likely to be a treat enjoyed by generations to come.
We'd like to go, everybody mentions it. Nobody knows me, but a lot of them know
I
Sundrop.
ain't just serious with my hand on it. Ladies that always said that they used to it. Yes, Teddy boy did. I wish somebody would tell me what Teddy boy did.